Hey guys, welcome back. This is lesson 73, inequality word problems. So very similar to how we translated in systems of equations, we're going to do the same thing with inequality word problems. Except obviously we're going to have to deal with those symbols and figure out what symbol to use in our inequality, depending on the words. So let's read question 1. Jordan works for a landscape company during his summer vacation. He is paid $12 per hour for mowing lawns, $14 per hour for planting gardens. He can work a maximum of 40 hours per week and would like to earn at least $250 this week. If M represents the number of hours mowing lawns and G represents the number of hours planting gardens, which system of inequalities could be used to represent these conditions? All right. That's one of those like, whoa moments, so much information. Remember, when we used to do these, we would start with our let statement, and they have already given us our two variables. So M represents the number of hours for mowing lawns. Sorry, my W's are not great. I have to go much slower. And G represents number of hours planting gardens. All right. So that's this information down here. I already used that. All right, so if I go back, anytime I talk about the number of hours mowing lawns, he is paid $12 per hour mowing lawns. So I'm going to put the letter M right here. And then $14 per hour gardening planting gardens. So that's where my G is going. He can work a maximum of 40 hours. That seems important per week. Wants to earn at least $250 this week. All right, so let's start with that first sentence. That first sentence, he is paid $12 with M, per M, right? And $14 per hour, which is the G. And so since we're talking about money, $14 per hour, $12 per hour, that's going to go with my $250. That all deals with money, 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 money. So now I just have to figure out what inequality symbol at least is going to use. At least. I want at least $250. That means I would be okay with $250, so I can have an equal sign. But I usually want more. I want at least that amount. So that means I want greater than or equal to, at least $250. Okay. The other inequality, since we're talking about a system here, we're talking about a system of inequalities, which means it's more than one. I didn't use this. I didn't use something with 40 hours. So this word problem obviously is going to deal with just hours. And since I already used the 12 and the 14 and the 250, there's nothing else left for me to use except this 40. But if you remember, the letters M and G represent hours. So I have M and I have G. And it says that he can only work a maximum of 40 hours per week. So that means both of the hours put together, it's a maximum. So that's my clue word for my inequality, a maximum of 40 hours. Maximum means he can't do more than that. That is the highest he could do. So could he do 40 hours? Yes. Maximum means it's okay for 40, but he'd rather do 40 or less. So that is my second inequality. And that's that. And we're going to talk more about how to solve those. But just for now, we're talking about translating. And then the next problem we're going to do is also translating. Just happen to have multiple choices. All right, pause the video if you need to copy any of this down. And then we're moving on to the next question. All right, second word problem. Sometimes I find that the choices might get me a little more confused. So sometimes I don't look at them right away. But let's see what's going on. Gretchen has $50 that she can spend at the fair. Ride tickets cost $1.25 each, and game tickets cost $2 each. She wants to go on a minimum of 10 rides and play at least 12 games. Which system of inequality represents this situation where, here we go, they're telling us, R equals the number of ride tickets, and G represents the number of game tickets purchased. All right, and again, since it's multiple choice, any work that I show won't count, but it might help me to organize this information. All right, reread one more time. Gretchen has $50 at the fair. She ride tickets. Oh, there's R. Ride tickets cost $1.25 each. Game tickets, that's the letter G, cost $2 each. So let's start with the money. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. We know she has $50 that she can spend. The ride tickets cost $1.25 each, R. And game tickets cost $2 each, G. Adding those up, she can spend, she has $50 to spend. Now I can look at the choices, now that I have kind of a situation going. I can spend less than 50, but technically I have $50. I could spend all of it, so I could put the equal sign there, which automatically crosses out two choices for me, choice 1 and choice 2. Choice 1 and choice 4. All right, now I have a whole bunch of other inequalities to write. So let's read what it says. She wants to go on a minimum of 10 rides. So obviously we're talking about R, and we're talking about the number 10. And she wants to play at least 12 games. Minimum of 10 rides. Lots of information here. I got minimum, and then I have at least again, which we've used in our last question. And at least 12 games. All right, minimum of 10 rides means she wants to at least go on 10 rides, a minimum, which means 10's okay, but she'd probably rather go on more, which is greater than. So again, looking at my choices, definitely not choice 1 or choice 4, but choices 2 and 3 are exactly the same in terms of rides. The only difference is the G, it looks like games. So let's look at games. At least 12 games. So again, that word at least, we've talked about that. It's a very real world word, at least. You need to be at least 16 to drive, right? At least 18 to vote. So at least means you can equal 12, right? You can equal 16, or you can be older, but you can't be younger than 16, obviously, at least not in New York State. So our final answer is going to be choice 2. So choice 2 and 3, very close, except for this G did not have an equal to sign, but at least means it could be equal or you could be more. And that's it. Pause the video if you need to copy any of this down, and I look forward to seeing you in class to do some more translating of inequalities.